We're live in 3, 2, 1. Action. Let's go. We're back. I know I was delayed. I know I should have put out an episode last week. I was at the Super Bowl for my current job. We were ripping a bunch of podcasts. We were having a blast in Arizona, so I'm late on this episode. So I'm definitely pumped up to be back. No excuses. We should be good to go. No more hiccups. We only have one more episode left, actually, about the break point stuff. And I'm thinking after the break point, I start to do some Zoom interviews with some players and agents and stuff like that, just to continue to work on my skills on the mic, start practicing some interviewing skills, because sooner or later we're going to blow up. I'm going to be on the road interviewing these players, and I'm going to need to come correct. I need to be at my best. I need to be looking like a 5-star prospect out there. Now, if you've forgotten, before we get into this Breakpoint episode, that features Paula Badosa and Ons Jabeur. If you don't like tennis and you're trying to get into tennis, Ons is the girl to watch. She is so fun, and I will get into why she is so fun in just a second. But first, we got to start out with our random thought of the week. And this week, my random thought, I've been going back and forth on several things, but I decided to land on something that has to do with food. And this particular food is in the fruit family, and it's in the citrus family. There's no better feeling than taking an orange and peeling that thing in one peel. Hold it up. It's not split in 4, 5, 6 pieces, because sometimes it's tough. You get it in one. And I'm not talking about the clementine stuff. If you can't peel a clementine in one peel every time, you don't deserve to be eating the clementine. You hear me? That just kind of rhymed a little bit too. If you can't peel a clementine in one time, then you don't deserve to eat the clementine. So that is my random thought of the week, is that great feeling of getting that orange peeled in one try. Next, our tennis update. The tennis update pertains to me. There's several tournaments going on right now. There's Rotterdam. There's Delray Beach. There was Dallas last week. But I'm not worried about those. I'm worried about the tournament that we talked about in the last episode, Indian Wells. Because this year, as of right now, I am set to go to Indian Wells with Denis Shapovalov and his team. Who's Denis Shapovalov, JP? Well, if you listen to the first episode, Denis is the first pro player that I met that was like a top guy. Didn't know he was a top guy at the time, but we've become friends. When he's in Florida in the off season, we try to link up and do some things, and they invited me to come out to Indian Wells. Things can change, so I don't want to, be too excited too soon, but they asked me for my flights and everything. This is Denis. Canadian dude, fiery, he's fun. Remember, he cussed out the fans. I can't hear you. Young Denis. He won the Junior Wimbledon. I'm going out with him and his team. We're going to create some content, and I'm super excited because this is my first time going to one of these tournaments with a player and creating content of all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And it's my first stab at a different kind of media coverage on the sport. So please tune in and follow along. I'll be posting it on my Instagram stuff. My Instagram is @jhovey34. In case you're not already following me, I need all the followers I can get, because if I have more followers, then people take me more serious, even though they should take me serious anyways. You know how people are in the social media world. If you have followers, all of a sudden you're cool and you're this and you're that, blah, blah, blah. The main focus is the content. The followers help, but I will be bringing some great content on Denis's pages and my pages when we go to Indian Wells in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, let's jump into the episode. I'm going to start with Paula Badosa. Paula is a beast. She's a stud. She's 6 feet tall, good-looking girl, world number 2 from Spain. She has a supermodel boyfriend that is probably like top 10 most handsome men in the world, one day, I might make that list once I get these teeth figured out, maybe shave the beard a little bit. But let me show you guys Paula Badosa. She's fun too. She's fiery. She's competitive. She's the one that a couple episodes back, she's talking about, I'm addicted to winning. I'm addicted to the crowd, giving me that energy. And all I want to do is win so I can get that feeling. Now, that addictive type of thing can be a little bit dangerous on the mind because in tennis, you are going to lose more tournaments than you win. So when you want that winning, when you crave that winning feeling so much, it can make the losses a little bit tougher. That's why it's important to fall in love with the process, people, and not the end result. I love Paula. I might have a crush on her. Don't tell my girlfriend. That is Paula Badosa, the Spanish Maria Sharapova. You might think she doesn't look like Maria Sharapova there, but in the documentary, she does. This is her with a nice little trophy from what? Indian Wells, the episode last week, and where we will be in 2 weeks. But Paula is dope. She seems super cool, super down to earth. She loves the kids. And then while we're over here, I'll show you her boyfriend to show you why this guy is top 10 in the world. It's a handsome cat. Good looking couple, stud couple. They seem fun. And they also seem just unfair. But anyways, Paula is the world number 2. She's from Spain. Madrid is the hometown tournament. She is the favorite to win. Being the favorite brings a lot of pressure. That's kind of your background on Paula. She just won Indian Wells. She's the favorite of this tournament. It's her hometown tournament. World number 2, addicted to the winning. Next, Ons Jabeur, my favorite female tennis player of all time. Yes, I said it. Why is she my favorite tennis player of all time? Number 1, she plays the most fun way. She's all about the drop shots. She's known for her drop shots. She's known for her backhanded slices. She's a beast. She's the world number 8. She's 27 years old, and she's from Tunisia. There's not a single player that has reached her status from Tunisia. She's the unicorn of the country, and you can tell just in her voice that she is a dreamer. She's optimistic. She believes in herself, and she doesn't care about what people think she should have been doing and all of that stuff. People in Tunisia, as she was coming up, weren't buying into it at all. They were basically like, you're probably not going to be a professional tennis player. You're going to be a housewife. And just that right there, you're at a disadvantage when you come from a country like that, because Tunisia, it's not a extremely wealthy country. And if you're not coming from a wealthy country, it's harder to get sponsorships. When you come from a small country, it's harder to get sponsorships, because why would Adidas want to pour a bunch of money into you when your core fan base is the size of South Carolina? I don't even know how big Tunisia is, but it's small. Where if you're Paula, Spain, they're super big into tennis. They're big into sports. And it's easier to grab some sponsorship money. So Ons is ready to beat the odds. She is so ready to beat the odds that she has an all-Tunisian team. Her coach is Tunisian. Her agent is Tunisian, who we never really see. Who even knows if she has one? I just kind of said that because her team is smaller than the rest. And her physical trainer is also Tunisian. And guess what? Her fitness trainer is also her husband. So you can imagine the types of conversations and arguments they have when they're out there on tour and he's trying to coach her up. And the bickering is funny in this episode, and they have like a really unique, nice relationship. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. She seems like the nicest girl in the world. But she's also ultra competitive. So the 3 musketeers from Tunisia, as she says, they're coming here to take on the world. They want to become Grand Slam champions. Nobody thinks they can do it. They think you got to come from the money, come from a high caliber coach. Not Ons. Ons is built different. Ons is built so different that Maria Sharapova is in this episode a lot. And Maria is like, thank God I did not have to play against her, because I would be having fits out there. She's so unorthodox. You never know what she's doing. And she just kind of laughs it off like, phew. Thank God I'm not playing Ons. So the tournament starts. Madrid, before I get into that, Madrid is on the clay courts. It's the first big tournament after Indian Wells, I think. But Indian Wells is hard court. Madrid is clay. The differences with clay and hard court. Points last longer. You can't hit the ball as hard. The ball gets heavy from the clay. You get heavy. It's harder to move. You're sliding around. It's harder to hit winners. You have to have a deep bag to be successful on tennis. For those of you who don't know what a bag is your skill set. You got to add different clubs to that bag. Some people are mainly built for the hard court. They play fast. They don't get into long rallies. They hit the big winners. Clay, you got to have the drop shots. You got to have the slices. You have to be able to mix it up or you won't be successful. I say all that like I played on clay one time. Actually, with this kid that plays for the Los Angeles Clippers now, Moussa Diabate, and we can't even really hit the ball correctly, and it was so hard the way the ball was bouncing. So I said all that stuff like I'm an expert on clay. I know nothing about clay. I'm regurgitating things out. So we can all learn about it together, right? Now, first round, easy dubs. Come on. What do we expect? Paula? She's the favorite. The favorite to win the tournament, hometown, easy dub. Ons, tune into the first round because you get to see it all. You get to see the enthusiasm out there. She plays light. She's sliding. She's hitting between the leg shot. You don't see very many girls hit between the leg shot, which shout out to the Chinese girl that hit a between the leg shot just the other day. I posted on my Instagram. I'm about to pull it up for you right now. Bro, what? See, this is where we got to do better. Tennis. This should be easy to find. Luckily, I'm here to help that scenario out because it's still on my Instagram story. Now, if you can see this, I mean, come on. It's the full point. I'll fast forward. When I first watched this, I was like, they were like tweener, and I truthfully was not expecting much. And then I was proved wrong very quickly. Yup. Yo, a winner too. A rabbit from the hat. Yup. The angle, everything. I can't say her name. Like Peng Xing Wen. Sick play. But anyways, you get that from Ons. Ons does that stuff. I'm losing light. It's getting dark fast. It's the worst thing about Nashville. It gets dark super early and it's gray all the time. It might as well be Seattle that we live in. The spotlight. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. All right. This will have to do. So, Owens, you get to see all the fun stuff. You get to see the tweeners. You get to see sliding around. You get to see having fun. And that is the key. You want to make the sport fun, and she plays it in a fun way. Now, easy W. They both get the easy W in the first round. Then you get to see a tiny glimpse into her and her husband's relationship because he's like stretching her out on the table and something pops and, you didn't have to do that. You knew what you were doing. Funny little bickering. But then they get into Ons' husband takes the camera from the Netflix crew and is like, we have Ons Jabeur here. Ons. Big fan. Quick question. Do you ever want to have a baby? One, I'm like, yo, my guy, like, I don't know if this is the time in front of all these people. I'm sure they told you to bring it up, but like, we don't have to do all that, right? And then she talks about wanting a kid and all of that. And it's kind of sad because the tour is demanding. Last year, the guy Dennis I was referring to earlier, he was home for 2 weeks out of the whole entire year. He's 23. Owns 27. Like, if you want a kid, you're sacrificing pretty much 2 years, like, before you're probably going to return to any kind of form. And they bring up a stat in there. Only two I think I wrote it down. Only 3 women have had kids and come back and won a slam. Your body just changes. So it's kind of tough to hear her because you can tell she really wants a kid and she really loves her niece, and Owens would be an amazing mom. Just from the little snippet we have, Owens would be an amazing mom. But it was sad. But I mean, that's just one of the things. Like, these tennis players really do put their lives on hold from age 16 to 32 probably. And if you're winning, it's a decent trade-off. You make millions of dollars. But it's hard, Everybody wants to have a normal life to some extent. Round 2, tough for Paula, man. Paula, she has to face Simona Halep, who, former Grand Slam champion, just overall, I mean, she's Grand Slam champion. She's top player in the world. She's always giving people fits. And not who you want to see in the second round of a big tournament like that. The second round, Simona Halep. That's like, well, I mean, what's a good comparison? It's a classic 12-5 March Madness matchup. The 12-5 in March Madness college basketball is the most likely to be an upset every single year. And that's kind of what this is, a 12-5. She even says that she's more nervous than usual for this match, and you can tell because things do not go well. She goes down quick. I want to make sure I get this timeline right. Yeah, she just starts drowning, and she goes over during a change, and she just puts the towels over her head, and you can tell she's just sinking. Ultimately, she loses in straight sets. She starts crying on the court during the match. You feel for her. I mean, she's just a 24-year-old girl in front of the hometown getting whooped, and it's hard because all she wants to do is put on for her city, and she's young and it's hard to deal with. But that's how she's so addicted to that feeling of winning and everything. It's probably her greatest strength and her greatest weakness. After that, she opens up saying that she has struggled with mental health and depression for a while now. And the way they allude to it in the show is that she won the French Open Juniors when she was 17, and everybody was talking about her because she was the total package from the tennis player standpoint and from a marketing standpoint. Good-looking girls, speaks Spanish, speaks English, easily marketable, and a boss on the court. And that's when she kind of felt all of those expectations get put on her, and it took her a while to find her footing on the tour and to just find her place in it all. And I think that's a dangerous part with these tennis people is, since it is an individual sport, pretty much when they do get that first bit of success where they know they're going to go pro, pretty much all the people around them are placing their value on like the product they're putting on the tennis court. So, they're only liked by sponsors if they're winning. And when you're 16, 17 years old and that's the messaging that's being sent to you, you would start to feel just like crappy about yourself because you feel like you're not good enough if you're not winning, and if you're not good at tennis, then why would anybody want to have any part of you? Which sadly is true to an extent. It shouldn't be, because we should be kind of protecting them at that younger age more than they are right now. it also goes back to the importance of having a good, solid team around you. And her team seems awesome. They're like, hey, next time this happens, like we might need to shut it down. You should not be feeling this way. After a match, like you're worth way more than the result of a tennis match. And, maybe we just take a couple weeks off. And, I'm sure that not everybody's team is handling it that way. And it would be interesting to see who is handling it that way, who's not, the long-term success of the two. It's so weird with using the laptop camera because everything's reversed. Like I have my left hand up, but it looks like my right. Not important. But yeah, and another reason why I think it would be key for these people to have young people around them, their friends, really, because you keep that level head and you keep it light, and you find, you get to go do fun things outside of tennis, and you're with somebody that legit doesn't care if you're good at tennis or not. Like they're your friend. And if they care about that, then they might not be your friend. As my dad always says, are they a playmate or are they a friend? Now back to Ons. Ons, they skip her second round match and third round match because she's working them. She's working these fools. Now she's playing Simona Halep. Simona has that grit to her, that not Nadal-esque, but she's up there. She looks like a powerful force out there, and you can tell her self-belief is high. Ons hits a tweener in this match. She's flying around the first set. She goes down. I believe she's down I might be getting this mixed up. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, she beats Halep in straight sets. She feels her level is very high. She's getting her with all the drop shots, making her run around and everything. I wonder if I can YouTube probably get me. Hey, one day when I'm taking these breaks looking for stuff, it's going to say, we interrupt this episode to bring you an ad by so-and-so. We will have ads one day. Or maybe we'll do subscription-based. But let me see if I can get this rolling. Love giving the visuals. Love giving you guys the visuals. Oh, here we go. Ooh, oh, why you do that girl like that? That drop shot is crazy. Don't make comments about me not having YouTube Premium. Anyways, you get a little taste. Oh, JP, don't be doing the people like that. You get a little taste of Ons here. I mean, she just dices up the person that just took down the number 2 girl in the world. Her next match, Katarina Alexander, Russian. Don't know much about her, but at the end of Ons and Katarina's match, you can tell in the handshake that she's a cool girl. She was like super smiley and super happy for Ons. Why was she extra happy for Ons? Because with that win and securing her spot in the finals, another sick drop shot right there. Let me close this out so that I don't lose your attention. You want to watch Ons, turn on the TV, all right? You want to watch me, you click that link, subscribe, like. But why was Katarina so excited for Ons? Because she was the first woman from the continent of Africa to reach a WTA final. Also the first Tunisian woman to reach a WTA final. Remember, WTA final. Remember, this is the same girl that the people in her home country are talking about. You'll probably just be a housewife. No, I'm going to the finals of the Madrid Open. Screw you guys. I'm not going to flick this off because my mom watches, but Ons makes it to the final. Let's go. And it gets even better. Her family rolls into town from Tunisia. The squad is here to support her. And even her niece, her little niece, who's adorable in the show. You guys gotta watch it. You gotta watch their interactions. You can tell Ons it's all about the family. So she's playing Jessica Pegula. It's tough. She's an American. We always stand the Americans. Stand means fan for those who don't know. We always stand the Americans. We want the Americans to be on top in tennis, in everything. But not today, not this time, Jessica. Because this is Ons' time. The reason you know it's Ons' time, because her husband is stressed. He is in shambles in the stands. He's like, I'm not feeling good. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. And Rightfully so, because Ons goes down 4-1 quickly. Now, you can never count her out. She's got that fight in her. She starts playing her game. She starts getting aggressive. She hits this one return off of a serve. So the serve was probably coming 99 miles per hour. Immediate slice, drop shot, whatever the technical term is. She hit that ball and it landed close to the net to where Jessica couldn't even get to it. Off of a serve. People don't do that off of serves. So she wins the first set. Second set doesn't go quite as well. She's starting to implode. Her level has dropped. The energy's not there. She's looking a little slower. Jessica's playing phenomenal. She's bringing it to Ons. And I feel like if you're strategizing against her, that's how you have to play her. That's how you have to play all those kinds of people. You have to make them uncomfortable because it's hard to get them uncomfortable. You got to keep pounding on them. Can't make mistakes either. But this is just another reason why I love Ons. She loses 6-0. Goose-egged her. Jessica goose-egged her. And there's a clip. She's hitting her head with the racket. Oh, I just relate so much because that would be me. I would be hitting my head with the racket, be smashing my racket, everything. And you love to see that emotion. But you lose 6-0, you're thinking, dang, this is it, man. Like, Ons is done. She was so close to securing that championship. She won the first set after coming back from down 4-1, but it's hard to come down from 4-1 like she did and win a set. And then to lose that next one 6-0, the momentum is all on Jessica. Third set, not so fast. In the Lee Corso voice. Not so fast, my friend. Ons is back on her game. She's like, my family came out here. Everybody sacrificed so much for me to get to this point. I'm not letting it go. I have to win. This is not how this one is supposed to end. And it doesn't end that way. It ends with her lifting that trophy, the first person from the African continent to lift a trophy at a tournament that big, first girl from Tunisia, first all-Tunisian team. And it's just, she beat all of the odds. And there's something about those types of stories, especially in tennis, that just hit because, again, as a common sports fan, you view tennis as a privileged sport. So you think, oh, these people come from money. These people have sponsorships. If tennis doesn't work out, who really cares? Like, they're going to be fine anyways. And that's just not her story. It was all self-belief. Nobody really believes in her except her and her team. And she did it with the all-Tunisian team. And it just fires me up. It's inspiring on all levels. It's like, as I'm watching the episode, it's inspiring me to go for it with all this tennis content. And, like, you know, what does she say in the beginning here? She's a dreamer. She's like, I'm a big dreamer. And the way she portrays her message and her journey, I relate. It makes me more confident in my dreams. I think it would make everybody more confident. She comes from this small place, and she's a top player in the world now. And it all started with her and her dream in Tunisia. So let's chase after our dreams, people, so we can be more like Ons. So that's a wrap on the second to last episode of this Breakpoint Reaction series presented by, this could be you and your business if you want it to be a sponsor. Presented by you. Thank you, future sponsor, for supporting this dream. So, next and final episode, the most drama-filled episode yet, and it's surrounding Felix. I can't even. His last name is too hard for me. Faa. Felix Auger-Aliassime, Canadian dude, friends with Dennis, who we mentioned earlier. I'm going to Indian Wells with. It's him and Rafael Nadal. We're in France for the French Open. And there's a twist in this story because Rafa's longtime coach, his uncle, his own blood, is now coaching Felix. And maybe they match up against each other. Maybe they don't. You'll have to tune in to Breakpoint to find out, or tune in next week or whenever I drop this to find out what happens, what the drama is. If we like Felix, if we like Rafa, if we don't like them, spoiler, we do like both of them. We like everybody in this show because we're trying to lift everybody up in the tennis industry, unless you are a scumbag. We don't have time for the scumbags. We'll try to help you out, try to help you not be a scumbag, but we're here to lift up the good people, and that's what we will do. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers means we're one step closer to monetizing. And even when I just get that first check from YouTube for 10 cents, it's going to feel good. It's going to be a feeling of validation. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for sharing this with people. Thanks for everything. I'm extremely grateful. It's fun in the young stages of something because everything seems more intimate and it does mean more, and it's just going to be cool to look back on these videos and in 2 or 3 years realize like how far we've come. And it's always we, not I, because we are the only way that this thing blows up. Can never do it by yourself. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Let's go.